Over the past 10 months, the stock market has been rallying significantly, and with only 3 trades, we were able to make a cumulative profit of 375% in the elite program. If we do have a good stock market year, we as traders have to make sure that we are over proportionally capitalizing on moves towards the upside and that we always outperform the stock market. This does not mean that you will not have bad losing trades, and this does also not mean that you should go all in on every single trade with a lot of leverage. You still have to make sure that you follow all of your rules, that you follow the 3 fundamental steps of actually outperforming during a bull run, and that you just overall make sure that you keep your long-term vision. The first step of actually outperforming the entire stock market is a method of finding a setup, and this is not part of your trading strategy. However, it doesn't matter whether you're trading stocks, forex, commodities, cryptocurrencies, or even indices. It doesn't matter which asset class you're trading, you do need a consistent and reliable method of finding the right setup at the right time. Once you know which setup you can actually take, and by the way, I will go over the 3 trades which I mentioned in the beginning of this video in just a couple of minutes and show you a full breakdown. Once you know which trade you can actually enter, then you actually need the second step, which is your trading strategy. Your trading strategy tells you all the metrics, where you should exactly enter, how you should exactly enter, whether you should actually use leverage, how long you will stay in this trade, and most importantly, where is your stop loss and where is your take profit. Even if we do have a very good stock market year, you just always have to make sure that you properly manage risk, and you have to use a stop loss on every single trade. Once you're finally in the trade, you have to master the third aspect of trading, which is time and patience. As you will see in just a minute, some of the trades which I'm about to share with you, I entered them more than 6 months ago, meaning that for half a year I did not do anything regarding the trade. It took me literally just a couple of seconds to type in all the details into my brokerage account. It executed the order, and I have not done anything ever since. I also know that waiting is simply the hardest part of trading, because you do have crazy swings towards the upside and also crazy swings towards the downside, and you just have to make sure that you look at the overall picture, that you do not get caught up in these short-term moves, and then you just have to wait, see your profits accumulate, and you just make sure that you outperform the market. That's already enough theory for today, because I specifically want to focus on the setups which I'm about to share with you. I want to give you all the reasons for why I decided to share these trades in the elite program, why I decided to enter these trades, where I placed my stop loss and my take profit, and how I have been managing those trades. Hopefully you do get some value out of this and you can now improve your trading. The first setup which I want to share with you is a buy position on Bank of America. And if we look at when I actually shared this trade in the elite program, you can see that it was back in December of 2023. I cannot share all the details for why step 1 I decided to actually look at this setup, and of course also step 2, the trading strategy, is exclusively part of the elite program, but I can give you some quick breakdown and simple basic analysis. First of all, we did have this rising channel, we did have the lower support and the upper resistance trend line, and Bank of America was in an overall uptrend. The second thing which I was looking at was a confluence of support, because we had horizontal structure plus this lower support trend line. And now if you're actually entering a trade, you have to make sure that on the smaller time frames we do have a shift of momentum, meaning that from a bearish market, Bank of America is now shifting back to a bullish market. We also saw this confirmation on the smaller time frames, and that's why I decided to enter a long position, and a lot of people in the elite program also took longs on Bank of America. The initial setup looked something like this. Entry was right here, stop was just below all of this structure, and right now, as you can see, I'm still in this trade. I'm targeting the upper resistance trend line of the channel. So far, Bank of America is at a 1 to 1.7 risk to reward ratio, but the overall trend is clearly towards the upside. Path of least resistance is clearly towards the upside, and I also have to say this, I entered this trade with leverage. Overall, I took a 5x leverage, meaning that right now the regular stock is in a profit of roughly 40%. My position therefore is in a profit of 200%. I also have to say that we took partials on this way up in the elite program, but we are still long with the majority of our position because, and this is very important, if you're actually right about a trade, you have to stay in this trade for as long as possible, make as much money as possible, keep your losses small if you're actually wrong. And of course, as traders, we will be wrong, and I was wrong a lot during 2024. But when I'm right, I make sure that I'm printing money and I'm staying in the trade as long as possible. The second trade, which we took a couple of months ago, was a buy position on Home Depot. We kind of have this reverse wedge pattern, but I did not really pay attention to this. It's just drawn on the chart. The only thing which I was really paying attention to was this break and retest. Again, you can see it's just simple market structure, and then of course price action and confirmation on the smaller time frames. I decided to enter a long position. As you can see, stop is now at break even, but my initial position looked like this. I had my entry, stop was just roughly 7.5 to 8% below the current price, just below all of this market structure. So far, Home Depot is in a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio. It's currently retesting the previous all-time high. Also on Home Depot, I decided to enter this position with a 5x leverage, meaning that this trade is currently in a profit of approximately 100%. We already took partials in the elite program because Home Depot is now at the previous all-time high, but we are still long with the majority of our position. Stop is at break even, path of least resistance is clearly towards the upside, and also on the smaller time frames we still have a lot of bullish momentum indicating a potential breakout. The final setup which I want to share with you, and again you can see that it doesn't take a lot of time to actually break down these setups because my overall type of analysis is pretty intuitive, simple and straightforward. It's just mostly support and resistance, trend lines, and then I'm simply able to read price action on the smaller time frames. The final setup which I want to share with you was a buy position on United Health. Also right here, I have been in this trade for roughly 5 months now. We had this bullish support trend line, we had the horizontal structure creating what's called a confluence of support. Then I went down on the smaller time frames. Again, this is just very simple, very basic, because all the details, I don't want to bother you with that. I went down on the smaller time frames. United Health created significant bullish confirmation inside of this level. That's why I decided to enter a long. Stop was just below all of this structure right here. So far it's in a decent profit. Also on United Health, I took this trade with a leverage of roughly 5, meaning that this trade is currently in a profit of 75%, giving us an overall cumulative profit of 375% just with those 3 trades. I'm still long with the majority of my position. I took partials during this move towards the upside, and also all the people in the elite program are still bullish on United Health. We are just completing this bullish break and retest. Path of least resistance and price action is simply pointing towards more continuation towards the upside. After all, you can see that entering these setups is actually the easiest part. However, what you did not see was all the 8 months of price action and how it actually impacts you as a trader. You will see crazy swings towards the upside, you will see crazy swings towards the downside, and you just have to make sure that you don't get caught up in the short-term moves and that you're looking at the overall picture. Of course, it's very easy if we do have a quick move into profit that you close out your entire position, because just within a couple of days you made 50% on your trade. But as I mentioned in the beginning, if we do have a strong stock market year, you need to over proportionally capitalize. And the only way how you can do this is by staying in your position, closing out only partials, and letting the rest of your position run and letting it become a major winner. If I lose, I only lose a couple of percent. But if I win, I make 100, 200, or sometimes even 300% on any given trade. Those two factors combined, so patience and the positive outcome, this ensures that I'm able to make money trading over the next couple of weeks, months, and even years. If you personally need some free help with your trading, just make sure you click the first link in the description and sign up for the free trading newsletter. It will be published once a month, and I will go over exactly these setups before they play out. I will give you some basic technical analysis, some price action, and my own breakdown for why I think this trade will play out. It's very good education also if you're already a more advanced trader, because you just get to see everything when it comes to trading, and especially my type of analysis, how I'm able to find exactly those setups. In the end, just make sure that you don't get caught up in the short-term moves. Just make sure that you're able to look at the overall picture. Sign up for the free trading newsletter. Take advantage of this free education, this free analysis, because maybe I will also share trades like these in the future. I will see you next week. Keep your long-term vision.